This is a description of the geojson output feature, which allows us to create a geojson endpoint on the API of the application for any PostGIS table within the database. So the first thing to know is to know that there are multiple databases. So we're looking at the dev server here. It's the same on prod, but if you open up pgadmin or some other database viewing application, you can open up the database, and we're looking at the ACA Geo database, and we can see that we have these tables down here. So matchline, panel frame, and route actual are kind of the standard ones for the ACRN, and then we have USBRS. So one of the things I anticipate we'll do in the future is output all of the USBRS features on the API so that they can be consumed by third-party applications. So we have this table called USBRS. Once we have a table in this database, which is running on the same server as the services database, which is right here, we can use these tables within the application. So let's minimize pgadmin and go back to the dev server. So now we're looking at the application within the dev server. Over here on the left we have geojson output, and you'll click that and you can see that there are currently no tables that are set up to be output on as geojson. So all we have to do is click create, and now this is the create connection, and you'll see that it reads all available connections. So we're going to connect to the ACA Geo database. We are going to, and then it shows the tables, and we're going to output the USBRS table. The geometry column needs to be selected so it outputs the spatial information correctly. So the _geom is that typically. And then filterable column will be a column that allows you to create a value that can be used to limit features on the output to a single feature or a set of features. So we're going to choose name, and then it needs a template to output. So for example, we can use this mustache language to choose how we want to output these things. We can output the name, and then we can also output, for example, the name and a comment if we wanted to in the description, like so. So then click save, and now it is output. Now that this is created, we have our geojson output, and then it also is caching on the server, so it doesn't read from the database table every single time it's accessed on the API, so you can rebuild the cache if you make changes right here. So once that's created, you can click geojson, and it will spin a little bit because these are a lot of features that it's parsing to the geojson text format. But once it parses all these point locations, you will see, depending on what browser you're using, in Firefox it outputs a pretty view of the GeoJSON. Other browsers will probably interpret it differently, but once it's all done, you'll be able to click the features, and you can see all these features that are output. They're collapsed. You can click one, you can click properties, and then you'll see that it has an ID generated, it has a name and a description, and then you can also see that it's a line string geometry. And then if you want to, you can click to see all the coordinates of that feature, output one by one in the standard GeoJSON format.